everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we're going to learn how to create Mailgun member on Contact Form 7 submission. So I am an owner of a real estate agency and using Contact Form 7, I have created a form with the help of which I collect my leads data and the form is embedded on my website. Here what I want is that as soon as when the potential customers or clients, a new form submission is going to be done using Contact Form 7, I want to create that lead as a member in my Mailgun account. Now creating these members manually can be very time consuming. So what I've done is I've simply automated this entire process with the help of Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. And here in this automation, I'm going to build the connection between Contact Form 7 and Mailgun with the help of it. So if you also want to learn about this amazing automation process step by step, for that let me take you to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to create Mailgun member on Contact Form 7 submission. So I am an owner of a real estate agency and I use Contact Form 7 on my website to collect my leads details. At the same time, I use Mailgun to manage and send email campaigns which keep my clients informed about new property listings, market updates, and exclusive deals. By automating this process, now whenever by end of the lead, a new form submission is going to be done by the form that I've created using Contact Form 7, automatically they are going to be added as a member in my Mailgun account. This allows me to instantly connect with my potential clients through targeted email campaigns, keeping my communications timely and professional. And I'm going to create this amazing automation between Contact Form 7 and Mailgun with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign in to our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign into my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly apps window in front of you, in which you can see all the applications of Pabbly, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on this Access Now button right here. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right here that says Create Workflow. Then a dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the workflow name and for us to select a folder. So for the name of my workflow over here, I'm going to give it as Create Mailgun Member on Contact Form 7 Submission. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow, okay? After that, it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I have created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this drop down. These are the folders from which I'm going to select Mailgun Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving the name to the workflow and selecting the folder, I'm going to click on this Create button in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Create Mailgun Member on Contact Form 7 Submission, and there are two windows in front of you. One says Trigger, other says Action. So what is Trigger and Action? Trigger and action are the two most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these two concepts. Over here, trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means what is action? Action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We are going to set up our trigger step first. And for the trigger application, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as Contact Form 7. As with the help of Contact Form 7, I have created a form with the help of which I am collecting my leads data. I want that as soon as when the potential customers or clients, a new form submission is going to be done using Contact Form 7, automatically over here the trigger should capture the response of that. And that is why for my trigger application, I have selected it as Contact Form 7. And for the trigger event, I'm going to select as new form submission. As we're going to select the trigger event, now to connect Contact Form 7 to Pabbly Connect, Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. Using this webhook URL and following the steps given here below in the help desk, we can build the connection between Contact Form 7 and Pabbly Connect. So firstly, I'm going to copy this URL from here. After copying the URL, now I'm going to tell you the steps that you have to follow in order to connect Contact Form 7 to Pabbly Connect. Firstly, log into your Contact Form 7 account. So this is my Contact Form 7 page you can see right here. And after that, from the left side of the panel over here, if I'm going to scroll down, it says Plugins. I'm going to click on Plugins right here. I'm going to select Install Plugins from here, okay? As I'm going to come to my installed plugins page over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for the installed plugin that I have in the name of Contact Form 7. You can see right over here, I've installed a plugin in the name of Contact Form 7 right here. It is very important to connect your Contact Form 7 to Pabbly Connect. You have to install this plugin over here. For adding the new plugin, under plugins, you can see it says add new plugin. Search over here Contact Form 7 and install the plugin, okay? As I've already installed the plugin over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the form that I've created using Contact Form 7 from here. So these are all the forms from which this is the form that I've created in the name of lead form. I'm going to open this form right here. As we're going to land towards this form editing page over here on the panel, you can see webhooks. Click on it right here. As we're going to do that, over here it says integrate. I'm going to select send to webhook. For the webhook URL field, I'm going to paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us in the workflow. And after that, it is asking for all these details, which I do not require. So I'm going to skip the part. And to save the changes, I'm going to click on the save button over here. Okay. As I've done that, it says contact form saved. As now the webhook URL is successfully added to this form that I've created using Contact Form 7, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down. Over here it is saying waiting for webhook response. So now to check whether Contact Form 7 is successfully connected to Pabbly Connect or not, what I'm going to do is I am going to do the test form submission of this form that I've created using Contact Form 7. And after doing the test submission, I'm going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of the test form submission being done or not. For that, I'm going to open the form that I've created. So this is the form that I've created in the name of lead form. And now to the test submission, we are going to fill in the dummy details. Firstly, it is asking for the first name of our lead. So for the first name of my lead over here, I'm going to write it as new. For the last name over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write it as lead45. For the phone number over here, I'm going to add in a dummy mobile number right here. For the email over here, I'm going to write it as newlead45@pabblytudes.com. After filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on the submit button right here. As I've done that, it says thank you for your message. It has been sent. This means the test response is forwarded. For that, I'm going to open my workflow and scroll down. And yes, you can see over here in the response, we have captured the response of the new form submission being done. First name as new, last name as lead45, email as newlead45@pabblytudes.com with a dummy mobile number. As the response is fully captured over here in our trigger, this means that Contact Form 7 is successfully connected to Pabbly Connect and our trigger setup is done. As now our trigger setup is done, I want to add this lead who have done the form submission using Contact Form 7 as a member in my Mailgun account. For that, we're going to set up our action step. And for the action application over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as Mailgun. And for the action event, I'm going to select as new mailing list member. And then I'm going to click on this connect button to connect Mailgun to Pabbly Connect. A window is going to appear in front of you on which click on add new connection, or else you can select the existing connection that you have. After that, it's asking for the API key, private API key, Mailgun host, and the domain name. In order to have all these details, follow the steps given below in the help test that is going to help us to get all these details to build the connection between Mailgun and Pabbly Connect. It is asking for the API key first. For having the API key, I'm going to log into my Mailgun account. This is my Mailgun account you can see right here. And now to have the API key on the right corner, you can see the profile section. Click on this arrow. From the drop down, go to this API security right here. As I'm going to come to this page over here of API keys, we are going to create a new key. For that, click on add new key. It is asking for the name. For the name over here, I'm going to write it as new member added. This is the key name. I'm going to create the key. You can see the key is created. I'm going to copy it from here and paste this key right over here in place of API key section. For the private API key, it says the API key and the private API key are similar. So for this field also, I'm going to paste the same key over here. That is the API key, okay? After that, it is asking for the Mailgun host and the domain name. For the Mailgun host, I'm going to go back to my Mailgun account. This is my dashboard of Mailgun account. And over here, it says US. Okay, there are two options of region, US and EU. The region of my account is US. You can see right over here. So for the Mailgun host for US, you can see for the US region, this is the host. So copy this host from here and paste this host right over here. If your region is going to be EU, then you have to copy this host from here and paste it right over in the Mailgun host field, okay? Then it is asking for the domain name. For that, go back to your Mailgun account. In order to have the domain name from the left side of the panel, go to the send button right here. Click on the sending. As we're going to come to it, you'll land towards the domain section. This is the domain of your account. Copy this domain from here and paste this domain in the domain section right over here, this field. Then click on the save button. As you go to do that, you can see Mailgun account is successfully connected to Pabbly Connect. After connecting your Mailgun account to Pabbly Connect, it is asking for the list. In which list do you want to create a new member? For the list over here, these are all the lists that I've created in my Mailgun account, from which I've created a list in the name of new leads, and I want to create the members in this list right here. So for the list over here, I'm going to select it as new leads, okay? After that, it is asking for the address. This is the email address. Email address is going to be the address of the member that we are creating. So for the data of this field, what we are going to do is we are going to map the data. Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we're going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. How mapping works is that as soon as I'm going to click on this field, this was the previous step. As I'm going to click on it, this is the same response, that is the lead response in the previous step. Over here, this is the lead whom we were to create as a member in our Mailgun account. So with the data of this email address field, we have received the email address of our lead. I'm going to select the data of the email from my previous response. As I selected the data from my previous response, the data is mapped. And as I have mapped the data has now become dynamic. That means now whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this map data. It is asking for the update. Yes to update the member if present. No to raise an error in case of duplicate member. So if this member that I'm creating in my Mailgun account is going to be an already existing member in the list, do I want to update that existing member? I'm going to select as yes right over here, okay? As I want to update the existing member as the member is going to be created again, okay? Then it is asking for the member's name. For that, I'm going to map the data, first name space the last name. After filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on the Save and Send Test Request button. Over here, the response comes as meaningless member has been created. As the member has now been created, I'm going to go back to my Mailgun account. This is the mailing list. I'm going to refresh this page from here. As I've refreshed the page, if I'm going to scroll down, you can see a new member in the name of new lead 45 has been created. If you go to tally the response, email comes as new lead 45@pabblytudes.com, name as new lead, you can see right over here. And the subscribed status comes as yes. As the member is successfully created in my Mailgun account from the form submission using contact form 7, this means that we successfully created an automation between Mailgun and contact form 7 with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum till now what we have done over here for my trigger, I've selected as contact form 7 new form submission. As soon as by the lead a new form submission is going to be done using contact form 7, in the trigger response is going to be captured. And using the details of the response over here of my lead, I have created a member in my Mailgun account. For that, I've set up this action step in which for my action application, I've selected as Mailgun and for the action event as new mailing list member. Okay. And with the help of Pabbly Connect, I built the connection between these two applications. So this was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Not just with these applications, you can create automation between multiple other applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. If you have any questions, you can contact us on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can check the queries on forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment on if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video.